Women of Reddit, what was something you didn't know about men till you got with one? KPI. Morning wood. Had absolutely no idea that shit just pops up every night till I started dating my first boyfriend. Snoo confections. That when they need to go to the store, they just go straight to that item and then pay and leave. It's something I need to learn, LOL. Classy how rarely they get complimented. I told my guy that I loved his shirt and he didn't even know what to say. He told me he couldn't remember the last time someone complimented him, so I've started looking for little random things to compliment him on. Drakmanka. Years ago, I bought my stepdad a Star Wars themed t-shirt and he started getting compliments and comments on it a lot, and it instantly became his favorite shirt. Recently, my mom told me he was wanting another nerdy shirt, so I worked with her in secret to get him the right size of one I knew he'd like, and she sent me pictures of him opening it. I shared a house with that guy for 6 years, but I'd never seen such a smile on his face like the one in those pictures. Gonna have to find another for him someday, since they do seem to earn him a lot of compliments. Viking that the ball sack physically moves around and you can see when it gets looser or tightens. It's super fascinating to look at. You can also feel it, and the man can't control it. Edit. It happens based on temperature. Edit 2. I think we should all just agree to call this the lava lamp effect. Tommy boy. My ex-wife was shocked at how short a phone conversation can be for dudes. My best friend called me once. This man literally flew across the country once to be at our wedding. Called me because he was bringing me to work the next day. Still need a ride? Yep. Okay. I'll be there at 530. Sounds good. And that was it. She sat there astonished and was asking, why didn't we want to talk to each other? I really had no good answers either. It's just the way she goes, I guess. Jessica says, how different a penis can look soft vs erect, and how much it can shrink in the cold. Dyrado, that balls don't typically hang at the same level. One is a little lower than the other. All those dick doodles have lied to me. Professional how much trauma they tend to accept as simple facts of life. Definitely made me more invested in my brothers. If my husband has experienced X, Y, and Z and has thought nothing should be done or even said about it, how many experiences like that have the other men in my life had? Theater Ranger. I've had that before. Don't know that anyone told me to supper ourselves stuff, but once the obvious steps have been taken, traumatic stuff just gets compartmentalized. I was molested as a very young child, and after berating some folks at the camp where it happened, it just wasn't something we talked about because what was to say? Most of my family had a similar experience in some other context during their lives. I thought it was a regrettable but not uncommon thing. Didn't cross my mind that this is a big deal till I was in my 20s. Chams Greyjoy. How rarely men are given compliments about their appearance, and how even something as simple as, oh, you look handsome today, or a colleague saying, I like your tie, can make a man's entire day. I had a boyfriend who was positively beaming when he came home and told me how one of his colleagues complimented his shirt and tie, which he rarely wore. And he went on to step up his work attire because someone finally noticed. He told me no one had ever said that to him outside of his mother, and I realized how little men are complimented on dressing well or looking put together. It made me so sad because women are always hyping each other up, but men don't seem to do that. It doesn't mean men don't want or need compliments. Everyone does. But they seem to so rarely get them. Maladaptive Lucifer. One of my friends gave another friend a love tap on the balls and he threw up. I've been kicked in the clit with the pointy part of a shoe and it really hurt. I was at school and wearing basketball shorts, so I got to feel the whole impact. But this dude straight up changed colors in the face and repeatedly heaved even after the initial vomiting. It seems like it probably hurts a lot. I'm glad I don't have balls, and for clarification, I've discovered that a love tap generally seems to mean punching someone in the balls as far as my male friends are concerned. There's nothing lovey or tappy about it. Rebel. I genuinely thought men held their penis when they peed because otherwise it would fly all around with the force of urine going through it. Mule over. How much some love to hold hands or be physical with hugs and such. Grew up in a bad environment, and many of the male figures in my life were always cold or distant or flat out abusive. Trying to figure out a way to handle it as my body nervous system isn't used to that at all. Deleted user how freakishly strong they are. My husband was a normal looking dude. Didn't go to the gym, but he literally lifted a treadmill into the back of an SUV by himself. Ginger banger. How easy they can be to please. A plate of food without being asked or a compliment, show of admiration in front of other people, goes quite a long way. Moxie-moron, they love compliments and will hold on to them for years. I noticed this with my husband a while back. Whenever I tell him that something he wears makes him look nice, he'll wear it as often as possible. If he tries something on while shopping that I think looks good on him, he'll buy it and put it on as soon as we get home. I love that guy. Mr. Pooney, my friend said she was amazed at how men can make anything fun and a collaborative project. Throwing rocks in the lake? How far can you throw? How many skips? Biggest splash? Or digging a hole at the beach? Every man will join in and make a hole halfway to China. Bryce a dude. That's the beauty to being a man. One time I was driving 4 hours to my mom's town. I noticed someone started following me. I drive a little fast, and after a while I realized he was just my cruising buddy. When I got to my exit, I looked back as I stuck my hand out the window to wave goodbye, and he was already waving at me as he was passing. Made a friend without even seeing him up close. No good kitty cat. Yes. When my husband and I were first messing around, I thought he only had one. Later found the second. Made me realize they kind of migrate around a bit. Cool. Anatomy is weird, was my whole thought about it. Didn't think about it much outside of that. Cut to like 16 years later. Just like maybe a year ago, he runs in the bedroom, pulls down his pants and shows me my balls are gone. I laughed and told him he'd be fine. He was dead serious about his nuts being gone. XD, about an hour later, I told him to check his nuts. Lo and behold, they were back. I told him that I noticed they do that, but it took him 40 years to discover this about his balls. I could not stop laughing, dancing, glumming. That they are really emotional, love a cuddle, and want thoughtful consideration just as much as women. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I was raised with men who didn't show their emotions or have strong opinions. The first time I got a proper boyfriend, I was amazed to find he loved being held. B. One conversation I had repeatedly with my girlfriend after I had been out for the day night with my friends, her, how is everyone? Me, they're all good, her, a news? Me, no. Not really, her, nothing at all. You just spent 10 hours together. Me, well, yes, but don't know her then. What the hell do you guys talk about all day? Brain-eating Galian. Penises float. The first time I took a bath and a guy joined me, I giggled uncontrollably while poking at it to push it down so it would pop back up. Edit, apparently not all of them do. Clearly, my data set is quite small compared to the population of penis shavers who exist. I have no idea if it's related to size, but I am a mom to 2 boys, and when they were little enough for me to bathe, floating definitely happened. D. Then apparently, according to the weather forecast I heard on the radio this morning, a powerful cold front is approaching our land.
Subscribe and like if you did. Now let's just watch my poor gameplay equal to